So we go to the next stage, which is 3 to 6 years. I will call this a relationship phase and also call it a phase of initiative. So what happens at this stage? At 3 to 6 years, the girls tend to want to relate more with their fathers, or suddenly there's a liking for the father more than the mother for the girls. And for the boys, there's a liking of the mother more than the father. So they identify with the opposite gender parent. What does that mean for the parent? If the two parents can be emotionally involved and present, then the child is able to relate with both sets of parents. In cases where the two parents are not available, that is okay. But the available parent can make effort to be present and available so that the child, whatever gender it is, can be experience them, because this is where they form relationships. Later in life, children tend to form relationships with intimate partners based on how they experienced parents at this stage of 3 to 6 years. Now, this stage also, children love to create initiative. How does initiative look like? You realize that they become independent. If they have toys, they want to come and choose their own toys and play their own games and play them their own way. That means they are beginning to come forward or come up with things to do by themselves. They become a little less dependent on the parent. So what is the parent's responsibility at that point, or what is their role? The parent's role is to support the child to be able to initiate or do their own things. If they do an amazing thing, then you need to praise them for that, or rather encourage them and tell them that is a good thing you did there. What does that do? It eliminates guilt as they go through life, so that at the point much later in life, and I know we've all observed children who cannot take initiative, heard stories of people who go through interviews and they cannot be able to choose things or make decisions or pick random things or do the basic things. Now the struggle is at this stage of 3 to 6 years, they were not allowed to take initiative and they were not encouraged for it. So what a parent can do is encourage the child to be able to continually take initiative and encourage what is working, and what is not working, the parent needs to learn not to shame the child. So they encourage them, oh, you can do it. I can see you tried. I can imagine when your blocks fell or whatever you are constructing did not work, you felt bad. You can try some more. So by this, the child learns that they can do it and they feel encouraged to continue to take initiative. So this is also the stage where, because of taking initiative, this is the stage where parents need to train life skills. Now, these life skills can be divided into two. The number one life skill that I'm going to talk about is the soft skills, where the parent allows the child to think. You actually throw, when a child has a problem, you throw it back to them. What do you think we can do? So you're providing the child with an opportunity to begin to use their own mind to think. And when they think something nice, do not shame them. Even when they think something that is not very workable, don't shame them. You know, allow them, brainstorm, think through it. Between the parent and the child, think through it and see the kind of solutions you can come up with. So the soft skills would be allowing the child to make decisions, to think through things, you know, to negotiate with you where they say, no, mom, no, dad, that is not good, and you can be able to listen and reason with them. There's also the hard skills. These are the skills that are learnt at home. At this point, between 3 to 6 years, a parent needs to model. Remember, we said the child identifies with the parent of the same gender. They identify. In other words, they begin to learn the gender roles, and they also seem to love the opposite parent gender. So both parents are very useful. So the parents at this point are the best models for the child. So if a parent wants to teach skills, say cooking, you can accompany the child to the kitchen, or you can ask the child to accompany you as you teach them basic cooking skills. You help them prepare, they help you prepare, and that way they learn. If you need to teach skills like, you know, make your bed, self-care. Actually, by the time a child is 3 to 6, they need to learn self-care skills. You need to train the child to eat. The food goes to their own stomach and they determine when it is full. By 3 to 6 years, a child ideally who is developing normally does not need to be fed. I know that one is debatable because most parents will feed children until even 7 years. But by 3 to 6 years, no child needs to be fed. So those are basic self-care skills. Teach them to make their bed. It doesn't have to be perfect. Teach them to wear their clothes. Teach them to brush their teeth. Now, these self-care basic skills are the ones that a child learns. You ask, why should they learn? Because if they learn skills at this point, they feel more competent. In other words, it builds self-confidence in them. As I work with children, I have realized that children who can do stuff for themselves feel more confident than the one who have to depend on another person to do them for them. So the more you teach children skills, the more you help them to be able to go through this skill and to feel competent and to feel confident. And the more you model good relationship skills, the better they learn how to be able to relate with the outside world. So at this point, I need to say there is no shame in seeking help. When you realize that a loved one, yourself, or even someone close by is suffering, there is no shame in seeking help. Actually, seeking help is a sign of strength and not weakness. So there's help available, there's treatment available, and someone can get better. There is no shame in seeking help. If you need help or you know someone who does, leave a comment below and we will get back to you.